Well, that just happened. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Mega Evolutions. And wow, that indeed just happened. My last video was about making Mega Evolutions for Pokemon's upcoming game Legends ZA. And that video did, well, way better than I expected it to do, so thank you all. Thank you all so much for the support in that video. You're all amazing. This video will serve as a follow-up on the last episode. If you somehow haven't seen that one yet, in it I made 4 Mega Evolutions for the first 4 gym leaders of Kalos. Viola, Grant, Corina, and Ramos. So in today's episode, I'll finish up the gym leaders of the Kalos region, with Clemens, Valerie, Olympia, and Wulfric. Kalos is infamous for how weak its gym leaders are, and while I don't think it's that big of an issue with the first 4, from Clement onwards they should have at least been able to use Mega Evolutions, or at the very least had full movesets on their Pokemon. Why? So yeah, like the last video, I'll be treating these gym leaders as if it was a rematch. I once again cooked up some new rematch teams for every gym leader in this video, so I hope this fixes all the issues. Now hold on to your butts, let's see what shocking surprises wait for us at the Lumio City Gym. I was very excited to give Clement a new Mega Evolution, honestly. His ace is Heliolisk, and I always thought of this Pokemon as one that has a lot of potential. You see, I love dinosaurs, and Heliolisk resembles a Jurassic Park iteration of the Dilophosaurus, so it should be a no-brainer for me to like. But sadly, I always felt like it was missing at least something. It felt a bit too simple looking to my taste, and not dinosaur enough. So imagine my excitement when I realized, hey, I have a pen. I can draw a Mega Evolution for Heliolisk. I kept the main body relatively the same, just changed the pose to one of a theropod so that it looks more dinosaurian compared to its original upright stance. The main difference, as well as the most important aspect of the design, will be the frill. I made it much prettier and more elaborate, and added dashes of red to clarify its newfound fire type, as a reference to generators overheating, as well as the sun that it takes its power from. The frill has a second layer behind it that's shaped like a fleur-de-lis, which is a symbol of French royalty, and in particular Louis XIV, who is also known as the Sun King. I had a bit of difficulty making it look like a stronger, more complex design, but eventually, art finds a way. Welcome to Mega Heliolisk.
Heliolisk, the generator Pokemon. It powers up tremendously by opening its frill and absorbing the power of the sun. This energy converts into an unbearable heat. Despite absorbing over 2,400 megawatt hours of energy from the sun, only 2% of this energy is turned to electricity. The other 98% turns to heat.
It has Heliolisk's original abilities, Regenerator and Dry Skin, as well as the hidden ability Solar Power. Your artists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, that they didn't stop to think if they should. But I definitely think they should have, because I think it's super cool looking. Dilophosaurs don't actually have these kinds of frills in real life, but I still think this is a perfect design element regardless. This is Clement's new team. He keeps his Emolga and evolves his Magneton into a Magnezone. He also gets a Rotom in his Heat form, and a Luxray and a Dedenne as a reference to the anime. And then lastly, his ace, is Heliolisk. Now, our next gym leader will be the ever-enchanting and mysterious Valerie. Valerie's ace is Sylveon, and Sylveon is an evolution. If I want to make one Mega Evolution, I have to make all the Mega Evolutions. So that's not happening. However, maybe in a future video I can. But for Valerie's new team, I gave her a new ace, Florges. Florges is a pretty special Pokemon, because it has 5 different forms. In the last video, I had to do a bit of a compromise when designing Mega Vivillon. I ended up giving it only one form. However, Florges forms are just pellet swaps, so I'll be keeping the different flower colors. Florges pulls from many different inspirations. It's based on a French poof hairstyle, which is a very funny name, and was popularized by Marie Antoinette, the French queen and the wife of the previously mentioned King Louis XIV. It also takes inspiration from fairies and nymphs. In particular, the Antuzai, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is a fairy-like creature from Greek mythology with flowery hair. Florges has flowers in her hair too. However, she's notably not a grass type, but just a pure fairy type. This is because the flowers aren't part of her body, and like Farfetch's leek, just an accessory, similar to the accessories used in the poof hairstyle. The Mega Evolution will finally add the grass type, as its body fuses with its flowers. Florges is also loosely based on a mermaid, and since it already has Greek inspirations, I made her fish-like lower body resemble an opening shell, like the painting of the birth of Venus. I've just been informed that the myth is Roman, not Greek. Whoopsie. One final addition I made was to give her a fancy flower umbrella, harkening back to its pre-evolutions, and giving it a more interesting design that differs more from its original, as well as making it much more fancy ladylike. Say bonjour to Mega Florges. Say bonjour to Mega Florges.
Mega Florges, the garden Pokemon. It merges with the flowers it has collected. It drains the power of surrounding plants with every attack, wilting them in the process. It is filled with disdain and hatred for anyone who harms nature, brutally attacking the perpetrator and turning them into flowers with its powers.
It has the ability Flower Veil and the hidden ability Symbiosis, which fits way more now since it's fused with its flowers. This one took so long, oh my goodness. It took me 2 hours to draw and another hour to make and format the alternate forms. But I'd personally say that my hard work paid off. It looks really good, I think, though I'm a bit worried that it looks too similar to the original Florges. Let me know what you guys think. Valerie's new team will be her Mawile, Mr. Mime and Sylveon, as well as Granbull and Gardevoir, with of course her ace Red Flower Mega Florges. I think this team is quite enchanting, wouldn't you say? Next up is Olympia, and her ace is Female Meowstic. However, a female Meowstic is definitely not a Pokemon I can give a Mega Evolution to, without giving one to male Meowstic. So I'll instead give her a more sinister ace. Her team will now be led by, or more so, controlled by Mega Malamar. Malamar is already a very sinister and evil looking Pokemon. Anyone who saw that Malamar episodes in the anime knows how hateable this straight up anime villain can be. So I'm cranking that up to 100. I wanted to play up the evil mad villain more, and I also took some heavy inspiration from eldritch deities like Cthulhu. That's why he looks so insane and mentally broken. He is literally gone mad of power. Usually Pokemon aren't drawn facing the camera. However, I decided it would be fitting for Mega Malamar to break this rule. Because, first of all, that's definitely something Malamar would do, breaking rules. And second of all, this way he comes off as even more uncanny than normal. To appear intimidating, I changed the perspective so that it looks like he's looking down on you. During the drawing process, I frequently turned my canvas upside down to see how it looked like this. Since Malamar and Inkay's whole gimmick is that it's upside down, it's very important to have the upside down image look like a good squid. Lastly, I played up the evil anime villain as much as possible, to an almost comical level, by giving him a vampire cape. He's a vampire squid, after all. All hail to Mega Malamar!
Mega Malamar, the overturning Pokemon. The power that comes with Mega Evolution shatters its brain. Mega Malamar grows insane thanks to its immense psychic power. Thanks to Mega Evolution, it can read and control the minds of everyone around it in a 70-mile radius. This comes at a great cost to its sanity.
Man, I think he looks really cool. He looks so alien and wrong, and that's exactly what I wanted from him. So I'm pretty proud of him. Though I do believe I should have refined the proportions and the shapes a little better, because he looks a little flat. Nonetheless, I am pretty happy with him. I also think that the Eldritch theme kind of works for him, because Mega Evolution is seen as a more powered up form. Olympia's rematch team will be a double battle, and thus I chose Pokemon that could fight together well. I kept their Slowking and their Sigilyph, and their female Meowstic now has a male Meowstic to support her. Lastly, Mega Malamar will be aided by Claydol, both sufficiently mind-boggling Pokemon. Before we go over to Wulfric's new Mega, I have a word from our new overlord Malamar. You must like and subscribe, or face the wrath of 1,000 unspeakable horrors, incomprehensible by your feeble human mind. You live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of a black seas of infinity. It was meant for you to like and subscribe on this video. Ow. Oh, my head. Oh man, did I get mind controlled again? I hate it when that happens. So itchy. Anywho, let's slide right into the final Pokemon for today. Wulfric's new Mega Avalugg. Yup, Wulfric's ace will be Mega Avalugg, which shouldn't come as a surprise seeing he already has an Avalugg, but I've already had to change 4 gym leaders' aces, so it was less certain than you'd think it was. Out of all gym leaders, Wulfric was the one that needed Mega Evolution the most. He's the final gym leader, he is generally pretty easy, he comes after the battle with Lysander, who uses a Mega Evolution, and he has an Abomasnow on his team, who can already Mega Evolve! And honestly, Mega Abomasnow would probably fit him perfectly. So now, finally, after 1, 2, 3, holy crap, 11 years? Wulfric will finally get the Just Ice he deserves. Or well, Just Ice and Steel type he deserves. Mega Avalugg will gain an extra steel type to finally turn him into the defensive wall that he was meant to be. He'll be based on icebreaker boats, and I gave his lower jaw the same steel-like structure that you can find on Hisuian Avalugg. Bergmite, Avalugg's pre-evolution, is based on a stalagmite, or the top of an iceberg. Avalugg, however, takes inspiration from a stalactite in the bottom half of an iceberg, which is famously incredibly large. So, for its mega evolution, I found it fitting to make the concept complete and make Mega Avalugg a full iceberg, top and bottom included. One more thing of note, however, when I show you his dex in a bit, please take a good look at his silhouette and his size.
Mega Avalugg.
Mega Avalugg, the iceberg Pokemon. It grows in size tenfold and loses the ability to walk completely. Its vestigial legs now merely propel it forward through the water.
It crashes through large icebergs with its steel jaws. Its ice-covered body is so cold that it freezes the water around it. Out of all of them, I think Mega Avalugg is the one that needed a bit more time in the oven, ironically. However, that's not to say that I'm not proud of him, because the shading and the rendering is frankly the best part of this drawing, in my opinion. I gave him a lot more HP and defense, though I think Avalugg might be a bit too busted now. Whoopsie daisy. Wulfric's new team will be his Abomasnow and Cryogonal, as well as the new Weavile and Frostlass for some good setup and speed, and then Walrein because he fits Wulfric perfectly. And of course, he finishes off with his defensive giant Mega Avalugg. And that will be it for today. However, before you go, I wanna thank you all so much for the support on my last video. I never expected it to reach as many views as it did, and I'm really glad you all liked my designs. The next video will be Pokemon Orange, however. I'll be drawing more early route Pokemon, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. I hope to see you all there, and have another wonderful day. I've been Gary the Motham. Gotta catch me later.